Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Early Career Academic, where I explore how I pursue my personal and professional goals. I am an academic, as I said. I'm also a wife and a cat mom and a passion planner ambassador. This channel is mostly Plan With Me's using the passion planner. I myself came to, to paper planning because academics have to juggle so many things, and it just makes sense for me to have a system that allows me to pursue projects in my own time while also meeting my external obligations. If you're interested in any of the products I use, they are in the description below. And if you like this kind of thing, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about planning for the week of November 15th through November 21st, 2021. I'm going to do an overview of the current week. It's Friday morning, the 12th of November, and talk about what worked and what didn't work, give you a little life update, and then plan for the week of the 15th of November. So here we go. This is the current week, and as you can see, it is Friday. I haven't filled anything out yet because it is still the morning. And I decided last week to go with a very traditional fall theme using some fall stickers that I had, and sticking with kind of Thanksgiving colors, right? Fall colors, the orange, the yellow, and the green. I really like the way this spread has turned out. I mean, it's still have the weekend to go, but I'm just really enjoying it. I also decided to use the Space of Infinite Possibility to do the gratitude challenge. And that is a challenge that Passion Planner runs every November. It's a 21-day gratitude challenge. You can find this PDF on their website, and I put a link to to Passion Planner in the description of this video. So if you want to download this is free. You can go ahead and do whatever days you want, or go ahead and do all the days like I'm planning. So I just write down my response to each day's challenge in this space. I did that last week as well with these. Isn't this pretty? I just really like these stickers from Sugar Pop Fizz. So this week was a little challenging because, as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, I started the week off not feeling great. My throat was still really sore. The doctors couldn't figure out why. They ran a bajillion tests. And they basically came back and said, you are fighting something. Your body has increased white blood cells. We just don't know what. It's none of the things we test for, right? And so I was like, okay. So they're like, rest your voice. You don't have to be completely silent, which is good because I needed to be on campus doing things with my students this week. But just take it easy a little bit. So I did Monday. I canceled a bunch of things so that I could take it easy. Luckily, I have amazing colleagues, amazing support network. They were all very understanding. And that really helped because then when I did have to go teach on Tuesday, I still felt it, but it wasn't as extreme. And by the time Wednesday rolled around, I was feeling so much better, so much better. And today, I will say, is probably the best day I've had since the beginning of October. No joke, y'all. The irony is, I did get my COVID-19 booster yesterday, so my arm is killing me right now. I also feel like a little bit of joint achiness, so it's ironic that I don't feel any of the symptoms I've had since October, but I am now feeling the effects of the booster shot. But I understand those things go away pretty fast, so it's fine. Otherwise, this week, in terms of the goals I have for myself, this week has been pretty good considering everything. I did some academic writing on Monday and Wednesday. I am participating in Academic Writing Month, and if you guys are interested in those updates and how it's going, I am posting fairly often updates, Mondays and Wednesdays typically, and I put a link to that playlist in the description of this video if you want to take a look at what I'm doing there. I did not, however, make as much progress on grading as I would like. And I say grading a little loosely. It's just that it's a lot of reading. It's not like I have this complicated grading system where, it takes me an hour to figure out what a student's grade is for a project. I don't grade that way. That's not my philosophy, but it does reading the final projects, especially these particular ones, just takes a lot of time because they're large. And, I want to make sure that I'm commenting in a thoughtful way. And so when there's 44 of them, of these particular projects, it just takes more time. And I have kind of a low reserve of energy coming off of my illness. Anyhow, so that is still going to be happening in the weeks to come. It's totally fine though. I have time. I have time to get those grades in. Really what I've been doing, and I just wanted to say this before we move on, is making a little bit of progress every single day on stuff, like just so I can check it off. Like I graded one paper, I wrote for an hour, I did one question on the adoption paperwork, and it's a lot. I know it's a lot, and I'm trying to be very generous with myself. That kind of cognitive load we're not meant to have that many huge projects that we're doing all at once. Our brains just aren't designed to do that many, sort of heavy, so much heavy lifting. So I'm probably going to take a slightly different approach next week, but it does actually feel really good to make even tiny progress on it every single day. So I'll see how I might switch it up next week and kind of keep specific days for specific mental loads. We'll see how that goes. Always being flexible. Some really good things did happen this week. I bumped into some former students on campus who remembered me, and they said wonderful things about the classes that I had with them, and that just lifted me up. I just had it was just really serendipitous and wonderful. Obviously getting the COVID booster is a good thing, and we're actually watching the show Grimm. I'm really enjoying it with my husband, so that's fun. So I am moving a couple of things forward. I did get some admin stuff taken care of yesterday, but I still need to work on this grant report. I mean, it's not a huge priority. It'll happen when it's not like no one's hounding me for it, but I do want to get it off my list at some point. Academic writing is happening, just not on this particular project. That's probably going to be shifted on it. If I'm being honest with myself, that's probably going to shift really until the end of November, which is fine. Grades are going to shift. I have to get my regular flu shot still. I had planned on doing it, just banging them both out yesterday, but I was a little nervous about it wiping me out for all of Friday, and I do have some meetings I want to attend today, so I am shifting that forward. And then my podcast, y'all. I don't know what I was thinking about launching a podcast in the middle of the semester with no backup episodes, but that's what I did. And I'm I loved the experience. I love doing a podcast. I don't have the time it takes to schedule interviews to record and edit the episodes at this moment. So I'm thinking what I might do is a small, me speaking segment for the next 2 drops, which will get me to the end of the semester, and then scheduling out some interviews with friends and stuff, friends and friends of friends to get back on track when I have my winter break time. That's what I'm thinking. It's actually literally on my to-do list is think about the pod. What do I want to do with it? Because I'm supposed to drop an episode this Sunday, and I mean, unless it's just me talking into the microphone, it's not going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling. This weekend, what I'm really looking forward to is we are going to do a fire pit situation. I'm excited for that. It is going to be perfect weather, 50 degrees, sunny during the day, and just a great weekend to kind of get into that fall mode. So that's this current week. And now we're talking about the week of November 15th through the 21st. And as you can see, I went ahead and I pre-decorated, which I do sometimes, especially if I'm in a hurry. And I am in kind of a hurry today. I just have a lot I need to do because I have a lot of meetings that I can't just sit back and do other things in. They require my engagement and attention. So what I'm going to do is jump into actually planning out the fixed engagements that I know I have, and then moving my plans over, as well as checking in with my goals to see, what I should focus on this week. So every Monday I do have a therapy appointment. And I'm just being really honest with you guys. Still going through cycles of, grief and acceptance over the loss of my baby. And the therapy really helps, I will say. So if you're on the fence about, you know, finding support in that way, I encourage you to move off the fence and get what you need. It's just really nice to talk with someone who has the bandwidth to hear all the dark thoughts that you have. You know, like the people in your life, the people that love you, they don't want to hear that you're sad. You know, they don't want you to be sad, right? I also think they don't want to hear it. But they you know, they don't want, they want to do something to help you. But sometimes there's nothing you can do. You know, I mean, you're doing everything you can, and that's that. But like, that's what, you know, we're doing everything we can to address this challenge that we have. But I mean, I'm never gonna not be sad about our loss. So it's just nice having someone who, you know, who will listen to everything you have to say about it and give you suggestions for, you know, coping. I know that that's what I needed. I needed someone who could listen to it as dispassionately as possible and at the same time give me coping strategies that I actually wanted to do and that actually helped me. And for me personally, it's been journaling. This is my current journal. I'm actually almost out of pages, and I'm really wishing my Passion Planner journal was here already, but the shipping updates look a little sluggish, so we'll see, because I'm almost out of pages in this one. I also meditate 5 minutes a day, and I take my vitamin every day. So those are the 3 things. I also apologize if you hear noise in the background. I do have neighbors, and I have laundry going right now, so it is what it is. Oh, I have this like double booked situation where I like really have this, I have this cool like talk that I want to attend, but I don't know if that's gonna happen because I'm meeting with my students this coming week. There's another cool talk though on Friday, starting at 10. Writing for the public. I wish I had kind of like, they had asked like for people who do this public writing like to volunteer, you know, and like to speak in the session, and I like didn't do it even though I could. And now it's like mostly like social scientists. Not that social scientists aren't awesome, because they are, but just, you know, it's different. It's different. What the kind of public writing they tend to do is a little different. And I have my writing group this week, and I'm really excited to tell them all the cool stuff I've been doing with my project. And that is it for the fixed things that are happening. Let me go ahead and, I wish I had a brown Tombow. I don't yet. It's on the wish list. Because this orange is so bright, you can see, like it's a little too highlightery. So maybe what I'll do, this is literally the only pack of Tombows that I have. This one's this kind of pinkish orange, salmon-ish color. Might be a good thing. So definitely my wish list is to get some more Tombow pens. See, this is like maybe a little too pink, but it is what it is. So, and I go ahead and do what I do sometimes, which is to highlight. This is kind of technically, it goes to the 15 after, but you know, like there's nothing you can really, this is not in 15-minute increments. So while I'm doing this coloring, which I find very fun actually, please let me know in the comments how your November is going. We're at the midway point, you know, how are things unfolding for you? I know for academics, it's really a hard time. We're just like, this is the time of year where it's really hard to juggle everything you're juggling. And, you know, we're all feeling, I think, maybe more burnt out than normal, I would say, question mark. I know that for me, I didn't feel what a lot of people felt in the beginning of the pandemic. Like they felt it immediately, and I think honestly it had a lot to do with people that had children too at home, which I totally get, 100%. But for me, I'm feeling it now, like a year and a half in, and I think honestly it has a lot to do with my loss over the summer, but also the illness I've been dealing with since October. It's just a lot, as you can imagine. For those of you who are new to the channel and just wondering what I'm doing here, I did put my fixed engagements for the week, which I do keep in a digital calendar. Sometimes I forward plan, but lately, because people are getting sick and having to cancel things, or students add appointments in the last second, I do kind of like to keep it as late as possible before I put it in here. And I had a friend ask me, like, well, what do you do if something does change after you've written it down? Which is what people say, right, about paper planners. And all I have to say about that is stickers. That's what they are for. And then the follow-up question is, well, why, if it got canceled and it no longer matters, why do you do this, right? And really, honestly, it's just a great way for me to remember what happened. I, as you guys can see, juggle a lot of things, and sometimes the days blur together, and sometimes I literally can't remember what I did from one, time of day to the next. So this is a great way for me to do kind of like functional memory keeping. I can kind of be like, oh yeah, that was the day that blank. And it just helps. It just helps me. It gets it out of my brain and onto the page. This is basically a fairly accurate record of what occurred. So planning for next week, and I do want to jot down some things. So for my personal to-dos, I always have laundry. I am going to order groceries. I'm just not sure if I'm going to do it this week or next week, so I'm going to leave that off for now because it might not be a next week thing. Oh, I do need to get my flu shot. Again, that might actually happen over the weekend, but maybe not. Depends on when I get groceries. We're going to do a bunch of kitty care this week, but it doesn't hurt to have like a little reminder to myself about my kitty. And that stuff's all going to happen. I'm going to think about this before this week is out. I'm going to jot down here. I haven't really resumed completely my morning routine yet because I haven't figured out what I want to do now that the weather and the daylight situation has changed. And just like how much, like going into a season where we feel like resting more, which happens when you live somewhere where the daylight shrinks. How much of it do I really want to do every single day? I feel like there are seasons where I'm like want to be on top of every little thing, and there are seasons where it's okay to like let stuff go and spread it out more, and that's just life. And I hope you're as flexible with yourself as I'm trying to be with myself. We have to keep on making progress with our paperwork. We have some like appointments we're gonna need to schedule, like for physicals and stuff. My husband's handling it, so I'm gonna check in with him on that. But it's helpful if I have it on my list to remind myself every day of like, did I do anything toward that goal? I also have this is for my content. I decided to stick it in this like last box, and I do have my academic writing month update. I'm going to put 2 boxes because I'm trying to do 2 updates per week, one on Monday and one on Wednesday. And I don't know what I'm doing with the podcast yet, so I'm going to just put podcast here and put the action that I need to do on it once I figure out what that is. I do have a blog, and there is a link to it in the description of this video if you want to read it. This week I wrote about writing which has no argument. I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun. It was based on a tweet that I saw, and I just liked the idea of it, like academics always feel like they have to have an argument, like everything that we do has to have this greater meaning. And it's certainly nice for your research to have meaning, of course. But sometimes it's like you see something because you are an expert and you see something happening, a trend or something in an archive, and you just want to like point it out and be like, that's cool. This is cool. Look at this. Like, I don't know what it means. I don't have an argument about it. But like, look at this cool thing. And I just kind of like the idea of that, even though it's somewhat impractical. So that's what I wrote about. For this academic writing project, I am still trying to submit my wiki article. This actually might happen, depending on my energy levels today. But if I'm being honest, it's probably going to bleed into next week. Maybe Monday, that would be nice. And then I could pick up my tweet sets article, which would be really cool. I'm going to do this today. I still got that term grant report. Someday I will not be rewriting that every single week, I swear. Oh, yeah, this is important. I need to register for some conferences. Need to do that. And all this other stuff is done. And then I'm just thinking about what's happening in my classes this coming week. Oh, yeah, I already wrote down that I need to give feedback. That's a little bit why this time of year is tricky for me, because teachers do basically three things, right? They teach in class, they provide feedback on ongoing work, and then they assess in some way, shape, or form. And this is the time of year when all of these things are happening. Like, a lot of people like to make a big deal out of the end of the semester, like the end projects or exams or whatever that you're grading. But the beauty of the end of the semester compared to this point in the semester is you're also not teaching, because the classes have ended. So you're not teaching, you're no longer providing feedback on a current project, you're just assessing the final project. This feels cognitively, even though you're doing it for all your students as opposed to hopscotching your classes like I do, this feels cognitively easier than doing this all at once. And that's what's happening right now in my life. So that's why the grading is going slow. Also, it's the thing I least like to do, although I do like reading my students' work. Just the act of assigning a grade, which we must do in my department, is annoying to me. Okay. Yes, so that is happening, providing feedback, grading these things. My honor students, I'm meeting with them in their groups these days. I don't think I owe them anything in this week. However, I'm still trying to get more people to join our pitches. And so I need to poke at a few people to try to like encourage more people to come to that. So as you guys know, one of my goals, like my life goals, is to have continuous learning, to make time for professional development, and that is absolutely happening this week. I'm going to attend this session here, and I just like making time for learning. And then this week I have the digital composition reading group that I host. So, new readings and things. It's just nice to have at least an hour out of every week where I'm not like teaching someone something or trying to produce something, but just like absorbing information that's cool. So that's happening. And I like to take a quick look at my November goals to just see, like, am I making progress on them? Yes, progress on admin, absolutely making progress on my writing goals, making slow but steady progress on the adoption paperwork. And I'm doing all of these mental health things. So we're good, I think. And I'm definitely making some progress on the things to learn as well. Oh, while I'm here, I also wanted to show you guys that I am starting a new thing where I'm going back to the month views after I've set them up. And I'm writing down some like memorable thing on each of the days that have already occurred that don't have appointments. And I kind of like this too, because I often abandon the month except to like do what I'm doing right now. And again, a nice way to kind of get a bird's eye view of the whole month and a little memory keeping at the same time. Functional memory keeping. Like the other day I was trying to figure out what days I had gotten my COVID shots in the spring without having to go get my card out of the safe. And my old planner, it's like, it was so hard to find when I actually got the COVID shot, except for the I think it was the first or the second one, which had a sticker, and I put the sticker in the book. So this is kind of nice that I can take a look and be like, oh, that's when I got my booster. So I will do a video on this once I have the whole month complete so you guys can see what it looks like, and I'll go through it with you. Okay, up here I cover it up sometimes. I also will put sometimes the month if it changes over like it did this week. I'll put the focus and then the good things that happened. I think what I'm going to do this week is I am going to do in November. And the focus for this week, I'm actually going to do two. And I know that's like, some people are like, you can't have two focuses, but you actually can. I think it might help me to see it every time I open my planner. Like, have you made any grading progress? Hello. This I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do. I covered up the quote before I even read it, which is not normally what I do. I at least like take a look at it, but I just really like the sticker and I'm like, I want it in here to add more color. By the way, I got these stickers out of this sticker book from Michael's Recollections sticker book. They had a hot buy one, get three, and I like snapped up all the ones. Obviously, there's a lot of cool holiday. This is clearly more of a Christmas, winter theme that the sticker book has, but I just love these like dried oranges and apples. I mean, the colors are fall, so, you know, I went with it. I was like, let's just do this. So yeah, I'm still gonna figure out, maybe I'll put a little quote or a little like mantra to myself here. I'm gonna determine that off camera. And I'm gonna continue my gratitude challenge here. So that, take a look, keep an eye out on Instagram. I did put a link to my Instagram in the description of this video. If you wanna see updates on that, I will post them. I typically post a Monday post and a Wednesday post, although I missed this past Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching my plan with me for the week of November 15th through the 21st. Check back here if you would like some more updates on how my academic writing is going, how I'm attempting to meet my personal and professional goals. Please leave a note in the comment how things are going with you so far. We're midway through the month. You know, how are things going with you in terms of your planning, in terms of your goals? And if you are doing academic writing month, I'd love to know. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you back here again for another Plan with Me.